We're recording now. Let's see how this works. If this works. Let's start at the beginning. I was actually supposed to do. I'm gonna start with the weight loss update because I was supposed to do that in August.
Okay.
But of course, August 16th. That was the day when my brother died,
Okay.
and I wasn't able to. So it's August would have been 1 year, and I've pretty much been steady since then at about. It was, let's see, I'm like between 210 and 215. That's where I'm hovering right now. And when it comes down to like the loose skin and stuff like that, like the skin is actually going back to normal. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm pretty surprised with that. I like that. I feel good, comfortable. I'm able to drink coffee again. I'm off all medications that I were on, so I'm not diabetic anymore. No more high blood pressure. Everything right now is normal for me, so I feel a lot better. I guess I'm happy with that. Somebody was asking me, they were asking me if I had to do, on YouTube, somebody wrote and asked me if I had to use the sleep apnea machine, and I've never used it. I tried one time, and I can't sleep with that sleep apnea machine. I can't use it at all. That's just terrible. It's
Is it that uncomfortable?
It's it's something on your face that's so tight and you can't really. I'm a little claustrophobic, and I always get the feeling like if that shit turns off during the night, I'm stuck with this plastic thing on my face, and then I can't breathe right, and then so I don't fall asleep while I'm using it. I think that's a problem a lot of people have. I don't know. I just couldn't use it, so I never used it. I told the doctors that I wasn't using it, and they didn't care. They let me go along with the surgery already. Anyway, and the person that asked me was actually gonna have the surgery done, and they wanted to know if they had to use it. And I don't think that you actually do. I don't think so. It wasn't a big deal for me. They didn't care. So that's another thing.
But you just have to you had to have lost a certain amount of weight
before the surgery.
Before
Yeah,
the
you gotta lose a certain amount of weight. They want to make sure you take all your classes, you get everything done. Like they want to know that you're gonna actually adhere to the diet that they give you. It's good to know. There's certain things that you should eat, certain things that you shouldn't eat. They tell you what to watch out for. You're not eating when because a lot of times when you eat is because you're bored, not because you're hungry. And it's funny because that's still something I have to watch out for, because I'll catch myself like nibbling on something. I'm like, I'm not even hungry, because I don't really get hungry like that. Yeah, because if I'm working, I don't feel the need to stop and eat, and if I'm doing anything, I don't have to stop and eat. But it's when you're sitting around and you're really lazy and you're just sitting there, that's when you start to do like dumb shit. So that's really what you have to watch out for. But other than that, I haven't had any problems. The acid reflux, they took me off that med. They give you omeprazole, which I think is Prilosec. It's like I think it's like a high grade, like a medical dosage of Prilosec.
That's for like antacid?
Antacid, yeah,
Okay.
because you get a smaller stomach and they're afraid the acid's gonna come up.
Okay.
So they give you Prilosec, and I took it for like a year, and I think I took it more than I was supposed to. I think it was a lot longer than I was supposed to. I think it was supposed to be like 6 months.
Okay.
But I took it for a whole year to give you calcium, because the Prilosec, I guess it depletes calcium, so they give you calcium to take while you're taking that. But now that I'm off everything, it's no problem at all. I just take vitamins now, multivitamins. I take vitamin E. I take vitamins for the skin, because I take the biotin. I take magnesium and zinc. And I don't know if they're working, but like the skin is getting better. I'm comfortable with it. Not a problem for me.
Yeah, because you had mentioned that the last time you spoke to when you spoke to your doctor about getting the surgery for like the loose skin, whatever, he told you to wait until like what, January or December? Was it December?
It was
January?
December. It was supposed to be December 26th to go in and consult for the surgery, but like always, when you get an appointment for December 26th, any of that year between New Year's or the year after New Year's, they're gonna cancel it, and I knew they were gonna cancel it, and
because it's the day after Christmas.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but they canceled it, and I haven't remade it because I don't know if I want to get the surgery for that. I mean,
I would just probably hold on. Yeah, because if you're following a good diet, and I mean, just see what your body does on its own.
Yeah.
Before you go ahead and start hacking anything off.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the scars from the surgery. There's still a surgery that I have to get. I have to get the tummy tuck surgery because I have that diastasis recti, which is the abdominal wall separates at the middle.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a hernia because when you lean back, if I lean back, you can see like the muscle pops out.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a tummy tuck, and that's all they do is they come and they
Put the muscle back.
yeah they sew it together.
Yeah.
So I guess so it can heal back together again.
And my friend was telling me her father had that.
Yeah, and usually when they do that, they also take off whatever excess skin there is. But it's not at this point. It's not. It's worse against around my legs because you get like that weird bulldog thing.
Yeah,
fucking terrible.
I know.
But you lost a lot of weight, so you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you still have that problem?
You know what's so funny? Yeah, and no, it's like it's soft, it's mushy, and I don't like it.
It's weird. Like no matter what you do, it doesn't go away. Has it gotten better?
You know what's so funny? I think so. I think so. Like I said, it's been diet thing though. I don't take too many multivitamins. Like I've stopped for a while. I have to get back on that regimen again. But I was very like good at like, believe it or not, I am a firm believer of those green juices, like drinking the green juices, because I guess you're getting all your vitamins and stuff. I mean.
I told you, I was listening to...
Everybody's different because, I don't know, just from my experience, I only know from, like, I've spoken to a nutritionist before in my life, and so I know kind of, like, what to eat, what not to eat. So I've done, like, my own little, I'm my own little guinea pig. So everything that I've done, but I swear by the whole green juice stuff. Like, drinking your vegetables and eating your fruit. Like, juice, I was like a very heavy juicer. Yeah. Back like a while ago. It's been a while since I started like working both jobs and stuff. So it's.
But you lost naturally. How long did it take you to lose all of the weight? Like the first time, because you did it twice.
I did it twice. The first time it took like almost a little under 2 years. Okay. And then the second time around, I think I started around 2015 because it was all when I came back from this wedding in New Orleans. So 2015, it's funny because I guess second time around I felt like it might have been a lot quicker and easier because I already knew kind of like what to do. Yeah. And then I cut out certain things. Like I really did not eat anything from processed, nothing from a bag, nothing from a box. Like I drank lots of water. I didn't drink any like juices like Naked or anything like that unless I made the juice myself. Okay. I did that. And I was drinking a lot of green juices, which is the 7 greens, the celery, the spinach, cucumber, ginger, a green apple, and I think I threw some kale in there too. Okay. So like those all heavy green, the darker the green vegetable, the better it is, and it has like more more vitamins for you. I remember just my nutritionist saying that, just to get your iron and all that stuff up, the darker the vegetable, the better it is for you, so.
I made it a point to eat more. Like I eat spinach. Mm-hmm. I have salads. But I'll be deliberate about it. Like I'll have a salad just to have a salad. Yeah. I like those as a snack because as a filler. Because most of the time, sometimes you don't know what to eat, and you can't go wrong with the salad. But you know what I mean. But I'm very I put olive oil, balsamic vinegar. I don't do any ranch. I don't do anything like things like that. So, you can make your own kind of like. Something looks like apple cider vinegar, some type. I've always used olive oil. Yeah. As far as like an oil for a salad. I usually have it with a chicken because I need the protein. But that's one thing that they are worried about when you get the surgery. It's your protein intake. They want to make sure you have a lot of protein. So basically, you're eating chicken, you're having a protein shake. I have a protein shake every morning, which is not a problem. You just gotta find one that's good for you, the one that you like, because they're terrible. They all taste. I've never done. I've never been like a protein. I never did the protein powders or anything like that. I just ate my food like I did. Like whenever I did my salads, I would put beans. I would put chickpeas. I would put peppers, tomatoes. I would put an egg in there. I would do like some grilled chicken. I forget edamame. I would do sometimes like stuff like it was a dense salad. It wasn't just like a bunch of leaves and tomatoes and cucumber and that's it. Like I would make it very hearty. Okay. Like that. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's not. It's hard getting enough calories in. I think it's a question of space management. Like I can only take a certain amount in at any given time. So when I have a meal, I make sure like mostly proteins, maybe a little bit of carbohydrate. I try to stay away from carbohydrates. I have like the salad as a filler. Helps you with movements, your bowel movements, because that's another thing you have to worry about because you're taking a lot of calcium and iron. You get stocked up, and it's terrible. So you stock up on milk and magnesia, stuff like that, which I really haven't had to use because I do eat a lot of the salads, so that helps. Other than that, it wasn't hard. Losing the weight wasn't hard. I think the surgery is good if you have to have the surgery. If you find yourself, like I felt like I was in a hole that I couldn't dig myself out of, and it was bad, and I didn't think I could do anything about it, I would recommend someone trying to do a low carb diet, because I think cutting carbs is what did it in the long run. I think aside from the surgery and the fact that you can only eat certain things, I was eating a lot of protein because of the surgery, and I was going into ketosis a lot. And you can smell it when you go into ketosis. You can smell like alkaline on your breath. You smell it all the time.
You smell
it's
like
weird.
vinegar, like
it's
smell
very
acidy.
weird. And I didn't know what it was. I went to the doctor and he told me you're in ketosis. That's what it is. And if you eat carbs, it knocks you out. But when you're in ketosis, your body's burning fat for energy and not the sugar.
I know when I did eat bread, it was like grain bread. It wasn't, I didn't eat like rolls. Even once in a while, I would like treat myself to like egg and cheese on a roll.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was always grains. It was like grain breads. But I didn't eat. I remember not eating too many, breads. Potatoes I ate, but as far as breads go, I wasn't eating too many breads.
No, I avoid them as a point. Like I haven't had potatoes in a while, a long time, and the breads, unless I'm having like I'll have a quesadilla, and I'll put, the quesadilla, whatever the wrap is, which is bread. I'll have that, or I'll have a taco or something, and that's a carb. But other than that, I haven't had bread. I haven't had Italian bread, and it's not that I don't like it or that I don't want it. I like bread. It's just that the space that takes up, it takes up so much space, and you could put other stuff in there.
What exactly did they do to your stomach? You said that they chopped off part of it.
the stomach chop.
The short version of it was.
They cut it, when they're done. It's kind of like the shape of a banana.
Okay.
So they cut off.
So your stomach is. Let's say if your stomach's like this.
Yeah. Well, your stomach is kind of kidney bean shaped. But the thing is, when you're heavier and you've eaten a lot, you've stretched out a big portion of it. So when you eat, you really can't fill it because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And what they do is they cut down all the excess. I think it's a machine that does it now. They cut it down to like the shape and size of a banana, and that's basically all you can fit in there. Like when you eat, you can feel it. Like you can feel like there's no more space. I can't eat anymore.
Really?
And you have to watch out because it feels like acid reflux if you eat too much. And you learn that fast because you get what's called dumping, which means you basically have to throw up.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you eat a certain amount and it starts to come up, you start to feel it. You have to throw up. It's never happened to me, but I do feel it going down. Not so much now, but I can feel when I'm full. Like you feel it.
Okay.
Like you feel that whole area is like done. You need to stop and relax. And the whole process, it wasn't hard. Just what's hard is picking the right things to eat.
Okay.
Picking those. I have things that I play with. You see, like I have nuts. I have those nuts. They're sweet. They have sugar, but I look at it like they're nuts, and what is it? The fiber in them outweighs the sugar part. And I've had them for a long time. Like I have them when I work. That's my snack when I work. I have like 3 or 4 of them, and then I'm good for another couple of hours. And it helps because when
you
I'm
really have
working,
to watch like portion control too, right? It's really it's well portion control.
Portion control is not hard. With this, it's not hard because you can't fit anything. So
because
there's
your body's
giant,
telling you not anymore.
The body's like it's not happening. So portion control is not hard. What's hard is in the summer getting enough water because you'll dehydrate easily. You'll dehydrate fast. Getting the right kinds of foods. If you don't get enough protein, what happens is you start to lose your hair and stuff, which I haven't had a problem with, but it happens to people. Like there's a woman that works around my area that I talk to every once in a while, and she has a problem. She's losing her hair because she's not getting enough proteins. I think a good cheat for that is eggs. Eggs is the best thing. Like once you start eating eggs, eggs is like, what is it, 8?
I don't know, depending on the
something like that.
Yeah, depending on the size of egg, whatever.
Yeah, it's 8 grams of protein like every time you have an egg. So it doesn't make sense not to eat them.
Mm-hmm.
I understand some people don't like them. Find a way that you like eggs and just make it and eat the yolk. The yolk is actually what's good for you in an
Yeah.
egg. I was listening to a whole report about diet and nutrition. They were talking about how the government guidelines for nutrition are wrong. Like they have this huge thing and this grains and carbs that you have to eat. And it's not right. You really should focus more on protein.
Mm-hmm.
Protein, vegetables, and lay off because the carbs is what's killing you. Like
Yeah.
if you think about what's a good breakfast, people think cereal, a big bowl of oatmeal. And
Well, my understanding from cereals anyway is that there's like Roundup in it.
well, not only that, cereals.
They're not really good for you anyway. There's like pesticides in it.
Yeah, well, cereals
You know?
cereals fiber. I mean,
Yeah.
it's carbohydrates. You eat cereal, you digest it, and it's all sugar, and
I
then
remember
you
back in
add
the
sugar
day.
to
Yeah,
it.
I remember back in the day I would eat Raisin Bran.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Out of all and when I mean and it wasn't the one with like it wasn't Kellogg's Raisin Bran. I was
Oh, was the
eating.
crappy one?
Well, the one with the one with no sugar on the raisins,
Post. That's the
Yeah,
post one.
there
But
was-
it's funny because
like you were
you're
eating
still
cardboard with, but
yeah,
you're still getting
but you're still
sugar,
getting sugar
from the
because-
raisins.
No, not the raisins. From the
From
actual
the actual
flakes.
the
'Cause
flakes.
they turn to sugar. And that, I was, it's funny. I was following the diets the doctors were giving me, and it was like I would have cereal in the morning, and I would eat what I was supposed to eat, and then I wouldn't lose weight, and I was wondering why. And it comes down to basically what's wrong is you're eating sugar. Even if you don't put sugar, it's sugar. The oatmeal turns to sugar. The raisin bran turns to sugar. The frosted flakes, not frosted flakes, but the corn flakes. Frosted flakes is sugar plus sugar.
Plus sugar.
But all of it, and the things they tell you don't eat, like
Yeah,
don't eat
they're
eggs because of
great.
cholesterol, and
Yeah.
don't eat eggs is the best thing because the cholesterol you get is actually good for you.
I know because I don't know. I remember hearing that eggs is really bad for you, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like a
and
few
it's
years
changing
ago,
now.
then a few years ago, some doctor reports came out that it turns out that actually yolk is not bad for you. So I don't know. It depends on what you want to believe in. I don't know. If you can eat the eggs, great, eat the eggs. If not, don't eat the eggs.
Yeah, but they're good for you. It's funny because they were going away
Mm-hmm.
from the saturated fats, and they were telling people, "Oh, the fats are bad for you." And now they're saying the fats are good for you, and it wasn't true. And there was that whole thing in the New York Times where they talked about how doctors were paid to say that fats were bad for you
I
and
believe
veer away
it.
from the sugars, and it wasn't even like a lot of money.
Well, aren't like some companies they pay doctors to put
Yeah.
out falsified reports because they
Promote
want
it.
to promote a certain drug
Yeah.
or whatever or nutrition wise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember,
so-
cigarettes were good for you at some point. Remember the Flintstones were
Yeah,
advertised.
and nothing helps and nothing helps to advocate your cause if you say, oh, scientists say this or doctors approve
9 out
this.
of 10 doctors
5 out of
recommend.
prefer that you use this toothpaste.
Yeah,
your
then now-
teeth are falling fucking out and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. You see like natives that don't use toothpaste and don't brush their teeth. They don't lose their teeth, which is why don't they lose their teeth? And we have like all these
Coconut oil.
problems. I use coconut oil because it has a lot of fats that you need.
But you drink the coconut oil.
Yeah. I put it in
No,
my shakes.
I've been doing the coconut pulling.
What's that?
Basically, you take a tablespoon of coconut oil and you swish it around your mouth for about 15 minutes, and then you spit it out.
Okay.
It's supposed to, help like
Why spit it out? You can't drink it. It's like a waste.
I thought about that too, but I
It's
was
like
like,
a
I don't
waste.
know.
Just swallow it. It's a
Yeah.
mouthful of coconut. If you drink too much coconut oil, you get explosive diarrhea, which is something they don't tell you until you take too much coconut oil and you figure it out. But yeah. it's not
I don't
good.
know, because I've swallowed coconut oil, like tablespoons of coconut oil, and I've never had that.
No,
like,
tablespoon
reaction
is fine,
to it,
but
like a
like
reaction to
a
it.
lot. I think that's a lot more. I mean, like when you get into like 3 or 4 tablespoons, that's when you start to have.
That's a
issues.
lot of coconut oil. That's
Some
a
people
lot of
are-
oil.
Some people are that will be why.
Okay,
Some
well,
people
yeah.
are some people don't know when to stop. They're excessive. It's like I'll put some in my shake and I have some in my coffee because you can have it in your coffee and then.
I tried
I'll
it
cook
in my
with it.
coffee. I didn't like it in the coffee. However, I did like the grass-fed butter in my coffee. That was actually pretty
I
good.
still
The
haven't tried
Kerrygold.
I still haven't tried that.
Yeah, my understanding is this because it's supposed to trigger. You're supposed to like kind of set your body to kind of like burn off fat
Yeah.
versus I guess like the carbs and stuff like that. But if you're gonna do any type of like fat, like if you do the butters, it's better to have like the grass-fed butter
Yeah.
because that's actually those are happy. It comes from happy cows that have been grazing, you know.
How do they know that they're happy cows?
Because they're in Ireland. They're like happy drinking their Guinness or whatever it is that cows do in Ireland.
I don't know about that happy cow thing.
Well, but I'll tell you this much. I mean, I've had it with the Kerrygold butter, and it's pretty tasty. It's almost like half and half.
Okay.
It's very close to half and half.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the sweetness, not sweet, salty.
Well, you have the unsalted.
But the salted is not a problem. I just mean, does that
there's two different. Well, put it this way: if you do the salted, you're gonna taste the salt in the coffee. But if you do unsalted, you just have the straight butter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I have to give it a try. Like that's the same thing with the nitro. That like Starbucks has the nitro coffee.
Mm-hmm. It's funny where the place that I work with, we have that nitro cold brew coffee, which actually it does kind of kick you in the ass. Like it wakes you up.
What's the nitro?
They infuse it with some type of like nitrogen, whatever, and then it's like you tap the bottom of the can, and when you open up the can, you tap the bottom, you see it go. Fizz.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no carbonation in it though. Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not carbonation.
That's one thing you can't have with the surgery. You're not supposed to have with the surgery carbonation because it.
Well, I mean, it fills you up. Carbonated anything.
Yeah.
It bloats you up because of the gas.
Yeah, I remember like dieting in like the 90s. You would drink the carbonated water, the seltzer water.
Well, because it was for people who drink sodas and to kind of like trick their bodies into, you know what I mean? Like some people crave that soda and they like it. Cause I'll be honest with you, you drink enough water, it does get boring. So you put lemon in it. You could now you have like the cucumber and there's all different types of things that you can do with your water to give it, you know, some type of flavor. But I mean, just drinking bland water can kind of be boring. So people would do the seltzer. A lot of people would do club soda or seltzer. But the problem with that is that it's gas and it bloats you up.
Yeah. I think that's a problem a lot of people have. They need things to be exciting. Like my food has to be exciting and my drink has to be, I have to have mouth excitement and mouth joy. And it's like, that's kind of the problem.
Well, my understanding is that the stuff that we eat from like processed stuff, that they put stuff in there to kind of like get you jonesing for that stuff. So you want more of it. So
but
in other words, I mean, isn't sugar like supposed to be quote unquote addictive?
Well, yeah, it is. It's supposed to be more addictive than cocaine, which I believe because coming off of sugar, like when I stopped drinking sodas, that shit was not easy, and I was agitated. Like
really?
I was fucking pissed. What? I was angry coming off of fucking soda. Like you,
really?
Yes. I don't want to fucking talk to nobody and fuck you, and it was terrible. It was a good maybe month and a half, 2 months before I was like completely settled.
I'm trying to think. Like so the first time around when I did that, I kind of did it. I weaned myself off. Like I would tell because I didn't want to do diet stuff because I have all the saccharin, and I was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna have a soda, I'm gonna have a legitimate can of fucking soda, and that's that. So you know, I didn't drink it, but whenever I felt the need, I would have it. Yeah. And then I realized as time went on, like when I would treat myself to a can of Coke, because that was my thing, just in a can because I couldn't stand the bottles. They didn't have enough fizz, you know, the plastic bottles. Okay. But the can itself contains like all the bubbles and whatnot. So I like that. I noticed when I would have the can, after a while, I wouldn't even finish the whole can. Right. Same thing. Like I used to treat myself to yodels. I wanted a yodel, you know, like just, you know, that was like my thing. So next thing you know, I wasn't even finishing the pack of yodels. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I think it has to do, a big part of it, some mental, at least for me it was. I don't know, everybody's different, but for me, I think it was a mental thing.
But there's also a thing where your craving for sugar feels like hunger, and it's not. And people don't know the difference. And it's funny because once you come off sugar, you realize it. Like if you have a little bit of sugar, you get the feeling where it's like, okay, now I want more sugar, and it's like you can pick it out. Like it's not the same.
Or like you know what I found myself, like if I have like a dinner that's very salty, after I'm done, I want something sweet.
Yeah. But that's normal, like sweet and savory or sweet. Yeah, that's normal. That's another thing they tell you, like salt's bad for you, but you need salt. Your body actually needs. It's like if you have no salt. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of stuff coming out now where they tell you that whole thing where salt is bad for you and gives you high blood pressure. No, that's not what the studies said. The studies said that if you have bad blood pressure, like if you already have it and you go
if you already have bad blood
The high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, you shouldn't. Some people shouldn't eat salt. Not everyone.
Yeah.
But the thing is, your body needs salt. Like if you go without salt for a certain amount of time, you'll die because it's a mineral that your body actually needs. So salt is fine. It's just everything in moderation. You know.
Including moderation.
Oscar Wilde. That's what Oscar Wilde said.
I remember when I was doing because I was doing this yoga certification course that I need to finish. I was taking back-to-back classes, so I was doing a profuse amount of sweating.
Right.
So my instructor's mom, recommended that I do this, add trace minerals to my water because she was like, you're sweating, you're losing a lot of salt.
Right.
So basically, it was just like it's called trace minerals. I forgot the company that makes it, but it's like these little drops that you put in your water to help, put the alkaline and all that stuff back into your body.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's kind of like the same thing behind Gatorade. But
I was about to say Gatorade probably minus all the sugar.
Yeah, it's funny because when I was working and like on a summer day, I would be working and I'd get back home and like my shirts would have like dry salt on them because just drinking Gatorade, it puts so much salt in your body. That's all you're sweating out, salt. Mm-hmm. But this past year,
or you get the little salt like at the corner of your eyes,
or your mouth. You can taste it in your lips, like your lip.
No,
your
that I've not reached, but I've seen like the corner of my eyes.
I used to drink like 2 32-ounce Gatorades. That shit was terrible for you. Yeah, 2 in a day working. Not a full 24-hour day. Mm-hmm. In an 8-hour day, I would drink. In the morning, I would like half the day in the morning. I would have the Gatorade, and I would be out, and then the other half of the morning would be another. Pretty much another Gatorade, and by the time I was done with the day, I would take off my t-shirt or whatever I had on, and it was just like powdered salt everywhere. Fucking terrible. Washing clothes, it was like salt. It whitens clothes, so the clothes have like weird white things on them and stains. Yeah, salt. Fucking. And the more you take, the more you're gonna sweat out. But you need a certain amount. Like this year, I didn't have to do it while I was working, and I didn't have that problem. I didn't have that like all the salt coming out. I didn't have the problem at all. So yeah, and it's not that I'm watching my salt. I'm just eating what I regularly eat now.
I'm trying to remember like when I was really doing like the juicing and stuff. I was not really eating that much sugar, and I wasn't craving the sugar. It wasn't until I introduced the sugar back that I was like the chocolate. It was mostly like I would say it was probably the chocolate and stuff, and then I was eating cakes. I don't know, went on a cake binge. I was like, oh, cake! I haven't had cake in so long. Yeah. So yeah, and the next thing you know, I was like, now I'm like, I need a piece of cake. I want a piece of cake. Like,
every once in a while you get, but you're not gaining weight though.
I don't think so, but I feel like I don't know. It's probably I feel like I'm getting a gut, but I don't. Not. But if it is not, it's something that I can just be, disciplined about and just get back on to it.
Yeah, but you work out regularly.
For the most part.
When's the last time you took a yoga class?
Last week.
You took like one, or you took like your usual 3 or 4 in a row?
No, I did twice in the week, and I did
in
a
the week?
Yeah, I did a Pilates class. I did an Inferno Pilates class, and then I did a Bikram class. So I did 2 classes last week.
Inferno Pilates? What's that? Like hot Pilates?
It's basically Pilates in the heated room.
Have you tried Kundalini yoga?
No, that's the breathing yoga.
Yeah, they say you can get like natural high doing it. Like it's
because you're fucking breathing. You're like,
I've been doing the Wim Hof breathing. I've been messing around with that while work, and it helps a lot. Like I feel a difference in energy wise, and like
it's a way of meditation because you can kind of basically if you're like in really. For me, when I've experienced it, like played around with it, it was, and it's funny because I didn't even realize what I was doing. It was like really, really cold weather. Yeah. And I didn't want to get cold, so I would like start breathing like a certain which way, and then like keep the breathing steady. Right. Like a regulated, steady breathing, and it's almost like, I guess like a mantra, like you know what I mean? It was it was just like a rhythmic. It was like a very rhythmic breathing. Right. And the next thing you know, the cold did not bother me. Yeah.
But, the deep breathing it's a lot of the Wim Hof is more deep breathing. You take in deep breaths, you let out like 25% of it, then you take another deep breath like 30 times, and it actually helps. I'm out in the cold. I work all day out in the cold and the weather, and I'm good with it. I know, and I'm ever since losing weight, which this is another thing you have. When you lose the weight, you get fucking cold all the time. Like I'm always, my hands get cold and everything gets cold, and it helps out there because I'm in the street. It's been like sub 20 recently, and I've been good with it.
And it was like 8 degrees yesterday.
I was not working yesterday, so it was all good. Today's not. I went out today. It's not that bad.
No, because it's now in the 20s somewhere. But this morning it was fucking really cold.
Yeah, no. But I went out this morning. It wasn't that bad. It's not windy. When it's windy is when you have a problem. Like where I live, it's close to the water, so when it's windy here, it's bad.
But what time did you go out in the morning?
Like around 9.
Okay, sun was up already.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like
well, you're by the water too,
4:30.
so.
Yeah, I'm talking about 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. When I go to work, it's like 4.
It's still dark. There's no
it's
sun
bad.
or nothing. Yeah.
But I guess you get used to it. I guess I don't know. I've been good with it. It hasn't been killing me lately.
You adapt to it. You kind of adapt to it.
Yeah, you know, I've been doing the internet dating. It's so terrible. It's so
really?
bad.
Tell me about it. I always ask.
Okay.
My girlfriend's like, you should try it.
I've done 2 so far. The first one I went out, and look, I'm not good. I'm out of practice. When it comes to like trying to set up an actual relationship, I'm way out of practice. So, I went out on one. It was just a meeting, and nothing came of that. I think it was mutual. We both didn't really wasn't feeling each other. The second one, it seemed like everything was good. I mean, I did we went to a movie, and it was really supposed to be just a meeting, but I wanted to see the movie, so we went and we hung out in the movie. And for me, I go to the movies a lot, and I do things like that, and I wanted to see if that's a compatibility thing for me. Like, how can you sit and watch a movie without fucking bullshit? And she was cool. It was good. She had kids, which is fine, because at my age, everybody has fucking kids, so you got to kind of deal with that. But it wasn't a problem, and she seemed cool, and I was cool, and we left, we talked a little bit, I walked her home. Nothing. No fucking. I text her. She just ghosted me and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
At first, it was like when we left. Look, there was no goodnight kiss, and it wasn't because I didn't want to, and it wasn't because it wasn't there. It was because it was cold as fuck. Again, it was close to the water.
But I mean, it was the first time you guys met. But I guess if
it
you
was
have like
there,
some type
and
of
it was
chemistry.
kind of offered, and I didn't
She
take
offered
it.
it?
Kinda.
Wait, with like a kiss,
There was
like
a
I'm like,
hug
oh,
and
bye,
a kiss,
on
and
the
I turned
cheek?
it into a kiss on the cheek because it was cold as fuck, and I was worried that I had snot on my mustache. I'm sorry, but I didn't want that to be the first time and fucked up like that. So I was like, it was cool. But it was great. We had great conversation. Everything was good. I went home. She was like, yo, let me know when you get home. I went home. I texted her real quick. I'm here.
But what if she was just being friendly?
I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't know. It seemed fine to me. And she
your
was like,
POV
it's cool.
was...
She was like, just do this again. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do it again. It's fine. Then nothing. Then I texted her back, hey, you want to hang out? I'm off. Yeah, today. I was like, I'm off today. You can have lunch or something. And she was like, yeah, fine. Then I texted her real quick, hello, can you talk? And nothing. Just disappeared off the face of the earth. I was like, all right. I'll let it go.
That was what, today, right?
That was today. Yeah, today. Get a little Happy New Year's, and that was it. And then today. I'm out of practice, man. It's going to take time, but
I don't know, like from I'm not cool with it, so I've never subscribed to it.
Yeah.
But from what I hear from like my girlfriends, like my sister actually met her boyfriend, her ex now. They were together for 3 years.
That's a good run.
That's a pretty good run. That's not she met him on OkCupid.
Right.
And
I've tried OkCupid.
I don't know. I've heard from other people that that's just a hookup type of thing.
Really?
I don't know, because like my girlfriend from Florida, she and another girl when she was living here, another girlfriend of hers tried it, and then her girlfriend just kept getting booty calls, and then she kind of fell into that booty call, spectrum there. And but then I heard that Plenty of Fish, I guess, is pretty good. People are more serious about that. Like OkCupid worked for my sister. She found,
Okay, this has been my experience. I view Tagged. Tagged is dirty. Tagged is the straight hookup, and usually older women hook up. Badoo is kind of like Tagged, a little bit better.
What's Badoo?
Badoo, Badoo. It's kind of like Tagged. As a matter of fact, I think Badoo and Tagged might be the same people because a lot of the things are back and forth. Like a lot of the profiles you see on the same people on both sites. But Badoo seems to be a little bit more upscale. Tagged is a straight ghetto. That shit is dirty.
Okay.
Tinder's hookups.
Yeah.
Okay, Cupid. Everybody on Okay Cupid, as far as the women go, they seem to be fucking spectacular. They're like superwomen. Like everyone has a fucking six-figure
Well, that's
job.
what my sister, she found she's a
Yeah.
social worker.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
found
yeah.
a psychiatrist, another.
Yeah.
She found like other social
Everybody
worker.
travels the world. They got
Uh-huh.
they six-figure incomes. It's just like that's a bit much for me. Like I told you, I need a little stink on my woman. I need dirt. I need them to be a little bit less upscale because I'm not. I don't like to go dancing. I fucking hate it. My knee's fucked up. I can't do it anyway. But I like to go out. I go to movies. I go eat. I go, I go to a show or something. That's fine. I'll just hang out and walk. But I'm kind of a homebody. I'm kind of looking for that. But I need women that are a little less. You know what I mean?
A little what?
A little less demanding.
Or maybe our high maintenance. Maybe?
Yes, I don't need high maintenance. I don't do high maintenance. I don't have the temperament for it. I get fed up really quick. Yeah, but I need someone more like on my level. And okay, Plenty of Fish seems to be good for that. And it's funny because Plenty of Fish.
I thought that was a Christian website.
No, it sounds like it would be, right? Fish.
It's a fish, Jesus, and
but
Plenty
no,
of Fish.
apparently no. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's just regular people.
Okay.
It's more like people in my like age group, so to speak, around here, like mid-30s to like 50. It seems to be around there, and it puts it in like I could approach women, but it's really more them. Like the way I understand it is, so many guys approach the women that it's a waste of time. They're not gonna go through all this shit. So you just put out a feeler, and then if they want to contact you, they'll contact you, and that's when you go ahead.
Let me see. Have you heard of? I remember this girlfriend of mine, when I worked at I think it was called Coffee and Bagel. Oh,
I did that one for a little while. That one is just, it's not.
She said it was very. She said she liked it because she was like, it's very to the point.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's like let's meet and talk. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, let's meet, let's talk, and see where it goes from there, and then you can I guess figure out if you guys want to go on a date or whatever.
Yeah, because what happens a lot of times is you get stuck in these weird fucking messaging back and forth loops. Like the second girl that I talked to, it was text real quick. Not text, is their own message thing. Plenty of Fish, and it was like. You talk a little bit, you ask her a couple of questions, and then it was like, do you want to talk on the phone? She's like, yes, please. Okay, we talk on the phone.
Yeah.
But a lot of times what you get stuck on is somebody just wanted to fucking message, back and forth message. And it's like, if you're serious, you kind of got to get past the message.
I don't know. A lot of people are very comfortable communicating like that. I've noticed.
I'm not.
I
think younger, maybe.
Probably. I would say maybe younger.
Yeah, younger maybe, but my group, I'm not. If I can't hear your voice and talk to you, like, we're not gonna. Like, I need to hear the way you say words. And can you speak English? Can you, come on? Because there's only so much that comes through in messages and text. I don't even like text messaging with people that I know. Like, I don't text message you all the time. Like, it's rare that I'll text message you.
No.
Talk.
Well, now it's become like a platform where you're having full blown conversations, because before a text message was supposed to be like, I'm running late, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Or do you want to meet up? Or something. It's just a direct, this is a direct line. But now it's just it's almost like a, remember back in the chat? It's almost like a chat.
Chat was terrible. I hated chat. It wasn't good.
Back in the days of AOL, you had the door.
Yes. Oh my god. No, you know what's funny? I did better in fucking those old chats than I ever did anywhere.
Really?
In person or anything. I did better on the stupid chats. But I didn't like it. I'm always like, talk a little bit, let's meet. Or call me. I need to hear a voice. Like, if I don't hear a voice, it's not real for me. And another thing you have with these sites is bots. Like, they're just like these weird automatic bots. But I don't know what.
How do you know they're really real people? How do you know that they're not fillers or something like that, just to keep people,
When it's a bot, it's a name and a long ass number. That's how you usually know. And then it's just dumb shit will come up, and it's just I'm not gonna bother. Like, if I don't see an actual name and more than one or two pictures, don't even waste my time. Don't this bots. Look, Craigslist is don't ever use Craigslist for any fucking thing because Craigslist is all bots. If you put your name or your email address in Craigslist, you are gonna get nothing but fucking bots. Just like
like automatic
2 or 3
stuff.
days.
Yeah.
And you put a post up for the next 2 or 3 days, maybe longer. You're gonna just get fucking bots coming up. You know, oh let's do this, let's do that. Oh, fucking, it's terrible. It's just the worst. And I don't know what the end game is. Like, what's the point? Like, what is supposed to happen from that? I don't get it. Like, I don't see myself giving any information. I don't see myself giving anything out. I don't see. It's not even like it ever comes up.
I don't know. I just my sister found her roommate through an app. Like everything's now.
Oh, did she? Is that guy the roommate now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he moves in like this week.
Oh, but he hasn't moved in yet.
No, but he's moving in this week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, my sister's issue. Yeah, she's like, I'm happy with it.
I've never. See, I'm not comfortable with roommates. I don't know. I wouldn't want a person I don't know living with me. I just don't. I feel weird about it.
I like my space.
Yeah,
So,
you want to do what you want to do. You come and go, not worry about another person.
It's funny because I mean, like now I'm in a position that I think if push came to shove, I may entertain it. But like I said, I have to get there. I will probably do what I need to do before, to not get there. But at least my place is set up that if I, did have a roommate, we would not be on top of each other. We could be, we could cohabitate comfortably.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
I could do it. Like I have a bedroom. I mean, it's a 1-bedroom apartment, but I don't sleep in the bedroom anyway. So I have a bedroom that I could use for it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm always on the couch. I'm always in the living room on the couch. So
yeah, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable with another person that I don't know. When my son is in the house, I'm like.
You're like, what are you doing here?
Don't you gotta go to school? Go hang out, do something. Don't be here all day. I'm just not comfortable like that. I don't know. It's funny because I'm looking for a relationship now, and I'm not comfortable.
Now, wait a minute. How is she gonna be up in your space?
I'll work through it. I don't know. There's perks to it. I don't know. I'm not comfortable.
You go back home.
Like I said, I'm out of practice. It's been a long time since I've been in like a living, serious relationship, and I don't know if I can do it.
I have to say, for me, it's fear. It's probably fear, because you know what it's like when it goes bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if you keep harping on that, then you're never gonna move forward. You gotta let that shit go.
Yeah. Well, my thing is not the bad experience because I know. I mean, it wasn't that bad. My bad experience was the periphery. It wasn't the person. It was everybody else attached to the person. But it wasn't.
But those are stressors that cause that person stressors, and then then that person takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. It's not. It's funny because most people think like it's the person itself, but if the person has like outside forces influencing them, then all of a sudden it does kind of tip the scales and makes things imbalanced in your home. But my thing is just like, I guess because I've been like single for so long, I'm like, oh, I don't want nobody judging my behavior, like what I do at home. Like there's certain things that I do at home that be like, might think it's weird,
Okay.
like,
okay, like what?
My business.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just.
Sometimes I watch TV and like I like to, do my hula hoop.
Here's the thing. I want to do it. I don't know if I want to. I want to do it, but I want to do it seriously, and I don't know. Like I can't have a fucking unless they're a single person, they can't live here. So I would have to move. And I'm looking at everything like at the eventual where it's gonna end up type place, and it's like I don't want to fucking leave my apartment.
Well, first things first, you gotta get the
body.
Person.
No, I know, but finding
first things first, you gotta
but it's just
those are all things.
Those are all things that add into it. Like I said, I'm not. I want a relationship. I want a fucking kid is what I want. I want to have another kid. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Just to have the feeling. And I did this before. Before I had my son, I was like, I want to have a son. I'm kind of there again. I want to have a relationship.
But you need a body to have. You need like a relationship to have like.
That's science. You don't need a relationship. It's science.
Oh Lord.
But I want to do. I want to do the family thing. I want to do all that shit. But
do you?
It takes work.
You said,
I do. No, I do.
Right.
I do. It's just I don't know if I'm ready to put all the work that it takes.
I'm
into
open
doing.
to it, but
It's
I'm a
the
little.
work.
I'll admit I'm a little. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm
Just
the
a
same
little.
way.
You
Yeah.
know, but I mean, definitely, I wouldn't mind if I mean, I'm by myself, so I wouldn't mind if I have to move. I'll move. Okay, you know.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. Like I said, I'm not opposed to people. I'd rather have somebody who doesn't have kids. It makes it easier. But that's fucked up for me to be like, I can only have someone who don't have kids because I have a kid. I mean, he's old and everything, but
I mean, there's a lot
it's
of
not- I wouldn't do
there's,
that.
there's people who don't have children, so that could, you know, you never know.
yeah.
But the truth is, yeah, there's people who do have a child, 2 or 7.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
hope-
dealing
you
with stuff.
hope.
I'm good with 3. I'll fuck around because I grew up. I'm the oldest of 4. I was the oldest of 4, so I can deal with maybe 3, maybe a couple of more, but I gotta be careful, and I gotta be. A lot of times when you have a person that's single that has like 4 or 5 kids, there's something wrong with that person. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Yeah. That's the reason people are. Yeah. Here's the
Well,
thing.
I don't know because I get looked at. I get the screw face when people are like, "What? You single? Something must be wrong with you."
No, but no, not necessarily. You just you made the choice. But you're single, but you don't have like 50 kids.
No,
That's a different story. Like,
well, I mean, you could say the same thing for somebody that put it this way. The same way as you're saying somebody who's single
I'm not-
with like
it's
50,
gonna-
5 kids or whatever.
It's coming
you look
across
upon,
fucked up.
like,
No.
Or, you
I'm
know
just
what I
saying,
mean?
if there's a bunch of kids, I need to know that there's not. Like I said, the girl that the girl that I went out with the other day, she had 3 kids, but I'm cool with that. One of them was 18, the other one was like 11 and 2. These things happen. I know. I have an 18-year-old. I know the shit happens. I just want to make sure shit happened and it just didn't work out. Or are you fucking batshit crazy? I want to make sure before I get into it. She seemed cool. She seemed fine. We'll see what happens. It's yeah. At a certain point, you have to make sure they're not single because they're out of their fucking mind. Because there's a lot of that, and I seem
Well,
to
there's
come
people in
across
relationships who are batshit crazy, and they seem
yeah,
for
well,
some
they're
reason
both
to
crazy.
fucking keep it together.
because crazy people get along. That's like 2 crackheads get along. You ever see 2 crackheads and they're in love, or 2 heroin addicts they're in love? They're both fucking crazy and they're heroined up and cracked up, and they love each other and they stay together forever.
'Cause they're
And
crazy.
sometimes they don't.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? No, look, trying to get a crackhead or a junkie to share their shit, gotta be special for them to share their shit with you. All right? It's not easy.
Okay, all right. That's a way to look at it. All right.
I look, I come from a family that had issues, all right?
Uh-huh.
And I know there's a lot that goes into it. And
There's that bond.
yeah,
That's keeping
it's
them
some
together.
people get together and they stay together and some people don't. And you got problems, the other person should have the same problems, so you guys get along.
Well, I mean, now that I'm older, I see that communication and how you communicate plays a very important part. I mean, that's like on the top of the list for me.
But that's something
Communication.
I communicate a lot better than I did when I was younger. Like when I had my son, I was not a talker, and that went into a lot of the problems that I had with his mom, and I know that. I have to admit that shit. So I mean, I'm a better communicator now. I like to talk now. I don't know what changed, but I was not a talker before. So I guess that's a plus. Like I said, I can go out now. I used to be fucking ridiculously fucking shy. It was ridiculous, and now I can go out and talk, and it's not a problem, and hang out or.
I know. You know my friend. She keeps like, oh, I need to do change. Like she was telling me like her plans for this year, and like she wants to, I guess wear another girlfriend and her want to wear more makeup, kind of step their game up and put themselves out there.
Yeah.
She's deathly shy.
It's that's
And
a
I'm
problem.
and it's funny because I'm just like, well, and that's funny because I'm a other coworker too. I was telling her like, well, how are you gonna meet? It's nice that you like people from a distance, but how are you gonna connect if you're at a distance?
Yeah.
It's not like the guy's gonna go, hey, I'm here. You gotta kind of like put yourself out there.
When I was younger, it was hard for me to fucking talk to people. It was terrible. When I met you, I couldn't. It was almost fucking. If you wouldn't have talked to me, I would have never fucking talked to you.
I know. I was just making conversation, but because I talk to everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
you blab and you blab and you're like, oh my god, you don't stop. But it wasn't.
Thanks.
Yeah, but that wasn't me. I didn't do that shit. I wasn't. I wasn't comfortable talking to people. So because I was working in clubs and stuff, I really didn't have to put any effort into meeting women. It was just like they walk by, hey, blah 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 blah. I let them do all the work, and I'm like, okay, let's go do whatever we're gonna do. it was no effort. And then when you're out of that, you have to put work into it. It's
I
not
don't know. I think
easy.
for me, it's because I've always worked in customer service jobs.
Yeah.
I was working retail, worked at restaurants, hospitality.
Yeah.
You have to talk. If not, you're not gonna make a sale.
Right.
You're not gonna get anything done. So
I just got used to shit being easy, and then
Yeah.
now it's not fucking easy no more. It is. It's like I said, I can talk now. I can talk about nothing. I don't give a shit. I'll talk for hours about jack shit and it's ridiculous, and I'll make it go. And then it's the problem with the other person doesn't want to talk now, or they don't want to communicate, they don't want to share anything. It's just like, where do we go from here? It's not fucking easy, man. It's not easy fucking getting out there and dating. Not at all.
well,
I mean,
I'm
fucking
not.
around and
I'm not
doing
sold.
it.
I'm not sold on that website type of stuff or app things.
Well, you don't. I think.
I'm not sold on it. I understand that's the way of the world because now you can fucking pretty much order anything online. But
Order a wife.
I know, like, find
No.
me husband.
Yeah. And you know what's funny, because I know, like,
No, but
where
you
I
could
work,
really order a Russian bride through
I
the
don't want no
internet.
Russian bride.
I used to work at the phone company. There was tons
I
of
know.
Russians that were ordering brides over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, that's almost like an arranged marriage type thing. Nah, I want an actual person that I can get along with, and we're gonna be good.
They'll get
For the-
along with
the
you because they're
duration-
supposed to.
The duration of for the duration of the raising of a child, I want shit to be good and fucking go well. I don't need no fucking no wishy-washiness, no green card shit, none of that. None of that. I love Dominicans, and that's the problem. You gotta watch out with fucking Dominicans, the green card shit. You're like, is she with me for me, or is she with me for the green card? What the fuck is going on here?
I mean, but there's a lot of them that born here are all well known.
Nah,
Yeah.
not my age. No.
Mhm.
They're kids, yeah.
Yeah.
But not, no. And it's a whole, I don't want fucking Trump trying to throw my ass out. Fuck that shit. It's not easy. It's not. But I'm trying. I'm getting out there. The Plenty of Fish, I'm going to fuck around
Well,
with it.
in all fairness, how long have you been doing it?
No, not long. Plenty of Fish, 2 weeks. The rest of the stuff has been a while. No, the other ones have been a while. I've been on Tag for like a couple of years. And I've been on Badoo
But
for
you
the
just
same
said,
amount
but you
of
said
time,
that Tag
and
was more
OK
like
Cupid.
it was more
It's
like
a hookup. Yeah,
hookup
I
thing.
mean,
You can't,
I'm sure.
you can't compare a hookup thing
Well, look,
to something
it
like
became
that.
a hookup thing, but it's supposed to be a dating thing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. Like, Tinder is a straight hookup.
Well,
If
I
you
remember
go on
Tinder. I
Tinder-
remember Tinder from like my coworkers at the phone company. I thought Tinder was more for like gay guys because
No, isn't that... There's a different one. There's another one. It's not Tinder.
I thought it was Tinder. Well, there's a coworker of mine. He told me he was doing like a training, and his Tinder because they kind of tell you who's in your vicinity.
Yes.
To hook up or whatever, and he was at the training thing, and his alert went off because there was somebody in the training's alert.
Get out of here. That's hilarious, yo.
Somebody, the alert went off, and he was like, oh.
Look, gay guys got it fucking easy because it's just two guys that want to fucking hook up and fuck.
But I mean,
It's a little easier.
I feel with things like that, if it's both understood that this is what it is that they both want, that makes it a lot easier. A relationship is not like that.
No.
It's
There's
not.
work for it. You
Yeah.
gotta make shit fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I think that no matter if you two people get together and you don't have a perfect match, you can still make shit work. You just make it work. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of doing whatever you need to do to make that shit work. And it's you gotta let certain things go, or you make compromises.
I was
That's
about to
all there
say,
is
you
to
gotta
it.
make
You have to make in any
compromises, yeah.
relationship. You got to make compromises, and I think a lot of times people are not willing to make those compromises. Any relationship could fucking work. I don't think there's any relationship that just not gonna work just because shit doesn't match up, or no. You can
I
make
think
it
it
work.
goes back to I feel like it goes back to communication.
Yeah,
'Cause
but some people
you
just can't
communicate,
communicate.
and you kind of have to, when in compromising, you kind of have to check your ego at the door. Because there's some people who like to be like the boss.
Yeah.
They need to run shit, and
Well, that's one thing. I'm going through the things, and I'm like, when I see boss bitch, I'm like out. When I see basic, it's like left.
Wait. Well, so what do people like put on their profiles? Like
There's all kinds of. It's like, I need a man that does this, and that, and works and knows how to take care of me. Left. I need to be the boss. I need the left. What else? So much different. One girl was like, "Oh, if I see that you don't have a full account and you can't, it's like that you poor and you basically left." I'm like, I don't need nobody that's gonna expect me to, pay the rent and shit. No, I'm not looking for a whore. I'm looking for a fucking partner. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for.
I
And
think
some
a lot
people
of these
wanna
women
be-
also are well, I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's the way they word things, the way they advertise.
Yeah,
themselves.
but if you word and advertise yourself a certain way, then that means you just
I think
don't
maybe
know
in their
any
head
other
they're
way.
probably thinking, well, I'm probably getting this across. I mean, the reason I say that is because nobody wants to be taken for a fool.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But there's a lot of bitter people too. That's another thing
Yeah,
you gotta watch out for. I'm not looking for young girls. I'm looking for women in my age. I'm going like maybe 37, 38 to like my age, and a lot of those women are bitter. They've been through a lot of shit, which I understand. I've been through a lot of
It's funny
shit.
because I have a friend and he tells me that women his age are bitter.
Yeah, they're just angry, and it's just like I understand shit has been fucked up. I get it. I'm there, but it's not my fault. Don't take it out on the guy that's trying to get to know you. You know what I mean? Like, so just curb it, see what happens, and see where it goes. And if he's an asshole, then he's an asshole. You could move along. A lot of people, you know what's funny? A lot of people do it too long too. They're in a relationship, shit's fucked up, and they're like, "Oh, I give him another chance. Oh, I give him another chance." No, sometimes you just got to be like.
Yeah, sometimes that's something like people.
Did you see the Dave Chappelle?
Which one? The first one? I you know what? Something. The second one I have to rewatch because I fully was not giving it my attention.
It's really good. And in the second one, he talks about bottom bitches. You know what a bottom bitch is, right?
I thought this was like the pimp that's like his main hoe.
Yeah,
like,
the one that
like
helps the other one stay in
She's
line.
She's the recruiter,
Yeah.
or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, and they have that whole thing with the bottom bitch where a pimp can look at a woman and he knows how the mileage, and basically knows how much shit she can go through before she breaks. And they keep them there, and then when it's time for them to go, they either do something to change that breaking point, or they get rid of them. And it's like, I think it's like that with dating too. Like when a woman gets to a certain age, you gotta be careful because a lot of them are just angry and they want to take it out on everyone. There's a woman that I know.
I feel like that's something that you have to work on. If you're not willing to work on yourself,
Yeah.
you can get stuck there.
There's a woman that I know
Dummy,
that
hope
she's
I
older.
have
She's like in her
explain
50s.
it well.
And she's been in a lot of fucked up relationships. But the thing is, right now, she's just like, if you don't have this and this and that, you can't be with me. Or she made a post the other day on Instagram where she was talking about, this is the year that I find a man, and no boyfriends, only husbands, and it's just like,
I mean, that's
relax.
Well, I mean, that's fair. Well, I mean, that's fair in the sense that, if she's looking for a relationship, she's looking for a serious relationship because she wants to settle down.
Right.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not looking to be, somebody's girlfriend. I'm looking to be, to settle down. I want to be a wife.
Right.
I want to have a family or whatever the hell, whatever.
But you should at least be able to provide what you want. You know what I mean? Like, if you're demanding something from someone, you should be able at least to provide that from yourself, not expect them to bring everything to the table. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? I know from my own relationships that if I'm the person that has to carry all the weight, that's just not going to work. Because at a certain point, you break, you're like, I can't do this. I mean, I can't be the only one working and paying bills and doing this, and you sitting at home eating bonbons. That shit's not gonna work. Like, we gotta be a team on this shit.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah, you never want to feel like you're the
only one.
Like you're a dad, or in my case, so you feel like you're a mom.
To your spouse, no.
Yeah,
if you got kids, that's fine, but
because you're being a parent to your kids.
Yeah,
but
to
not
your
to
other
like
half,
not to your partner. No,
I can't. No, you gotta have a partner. You gotta be a teammate. No,
yeah.
and you can't let other people come in between that shit. You gotta be careful with that too.
Well, I mean, I growing up, I've always seen like it's not good to tell everybody your business, not to have everyone in your business. Just in general, whether in relationships or just what going. Not everyone deserves to know your story.
Right.
You know what I mean? In other words, like, kind of keep certain things to yourself. Right. Unless, in other words, like if somebody needs advice or, you know what I mean? And then you kind of like, you share you share certain things kind of to help them out.
Right.
And vice versa. But no, because some people don't really give a shit. Some people just like to hear that other people are doing bad or because they,
It's ammunition for them sometimes. They want
For
to
some
hold on
people.
to your fuck ups just in case they can use that later on or hold it against you. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Like I was saying earlier, like they feel a certain way about their relationship, so it makes them feel good that somebody's doing worse.
But and it's funny because you got to be able to, you have to be able to drop people in your life sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got people that are poison to you. You got to be able to walk away from that. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a spouse or a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just so fucked up they're holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to be able to make that call. Some people offer nothing to you and they just take, and nobody needs that. Yeah, no one needs that. I try not to have that. Mm-hmm. My circle of friends is very small because I don't tolerate a lot of shit. Like if I start to see certain things, I'm like, okay, I don't need to hang out with that person, or I don't need to deal with that person. I'm just like
that. Everybody has their drama, but not at your cost, not at your expense. Not at your expense, should I say?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Everybody doesn't have to help you, but they shouldn't make it worse.
Correct.
You know what I mean? As a friend or whatever, they shouldn't make matters worse. And I think that a lot of times that's the problem. Like people just make shit worse. It's unnecessary.
I feel like some people do not assume responsibility for their actions. They're comfortable sitting in a victim role.
Yeah, well, to blame. It's easy to blame. It's easy to be like.
Where was it that there was something that I had taken a screenshot. It's funny because he's a fitness dude that I follow on Instagram, but hold on.
It's easy to be like, I have this problem and it's because of this person, and the thing is you got to take it. Sometimes you just fuck up. Sometimes you can't handle it.
Well,
Sometimes
I feel like you could be
gotta own it.
You could be a victim. You're a victim at the point in time when something happens.
Yeah.
You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your decisions.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, because the thing is, you have to take responsibility. You know what I mean? All right, so you fucked up.
Yeah.
You made a bad choice. You know what I mean? All right, you learn your lesson. You move on from it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, in all fairness, like, when I hear men or women say, like, oh, all men are this, you know, if you're dating the similar kind of guy, who's the common denominator in this equation?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know what I mean? That's not allowing yourself to, move.
Yeah, and it's just sometimes you have to be able to see a problem, identify that as a problem, and you have to be able to tell yourself whether I can fix this or I should walk away. And sometimes you just have to walk away. It helps. It's easier than going through the same shit over and over and over again and not ever having a solution for it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't fix things. And I think a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people, they're always
you
like,
can't force fuck a situation.
Yeah. Maybe this person, it's because of this person is doing this. It's not because of what I did. No, sometimes you have fault in this whole situation. And
everybody got a responsibility in it. It's not like, it's never 100% one person. It takes 50-50. You know what I mean? It takes two people to have a relationship, and you have your input.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, one day it was 80% his fault, 20% my fault.
Yeah.
No, bitch. It's both of you. Both of you are in it. Yeah.
And sometimes recognizing that is enough to say, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's what you have to do. Get up and walk away. So sometimes the easiest thing to do in any situation is to be like, I can fix this or I can't. And if I can't, walk away.
Yeah. And the other person has to be willing to kind of be on board too, because if the other person is not willing to, help fix or kind of help with the relationship, do their part, then you're really that's when you have to tell yourself, okay, this is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I got to bounce.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that just because you want something, it doesn't matter how hard you want it, doesn't mean you're going to get it. And some people just want that so bad. They work their whole lives for something, and it's like, you're wasting your time. Mm-hmm. It's not for you. Sometimes it's just not for you. And sometimes that's for the better. You find something else.
So now that you're doing this dating app stuff,
Jesus
why
Christ.
do you make that face?
It's weirdly stressful for some reason. It's just, I don't know.
Why are you stressing? Well, why are you stressing? You know that's something that comes with the territory,
I know,
right?
it's just a pain
so
in the
it's
ass.
like, why?
I wish it was
like
easier. Did you see the Black Mirror, the dating Black Mirror?
No, I
there's
didn't
a new
see the
Black
episode,
Mirror. It's
no.
about dating, and basically in the thing there's an app there, and what it does is it sets you up with a partner, and it tells you it says you and this person, and you're going to be together for X amount of time. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 12 years, And then at the end of the 12 years, you both have to get up and walk away. And they do this. And then after that, they'll set you up with another person for a certain amount of time. And there's these two people that keep going through this. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but basically the app is working out so that at the end of all of these little encounters or long encounters, they match you up with your perfect person. Like a dating app.
Okay. And how does that work out?
I don't want to ruin it for you. Watch it.
What?
You have to see it.
What the difference does it make?
It makes a difference because I'm not going to ruin it on YouTube for everybody out there.
Why?
But
spoiler alert.
At the end of it, it's a nice little twist ending where you see what's really going on. Mm-hmm. But it feels like that. It feels like you're dating these people and there's really no end in sight. But for some reason, the ambulances. Mm-hmm. You're dating all these people and you go into it and there's no guarantee they're going to work and you don't know what's, like I said, I went out for one day, came out, it didn't work out, and I got to go and find another one, and who knows how long that'll work out. You know what I mean? It's
well, you're all right, big deal. You move on to the next. Yeah.
I know. It's just a pain in the ass.
It's funny because maybe you might have interpreted a different, you had your interpretation of it, and
right,
then
right.
hers could be completely different.
Oh yeah, I could
maybe
have been a piece of
I
shit.
noticed there's some people are not comfortable.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings and things of that nature. So I'd rather somebody just be honest with me and tell me like, no, happened. Yeah. So I mean, look, I don't even need an explanation. If it's like, look, I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. That's fine. That's fair enough. But some people just they like to be polite. Yeah. Or they're trying to be nice, and that kind of puts people in a gray area. So especially with dating apps, like that's something I feel like you need to be clear and concise. Yeah. So there's no misunderstanding.
I wouldn't. You know what's funny? I don't have a problem with them being like, "This is what was wrong," because then the next time you fix that.
Well, it's not even a fixable thing. Look, in all fairness, you're not for everybody. Yeah. Everybody's not for you. So it's not. So it's just not necessarily you need to fix it. It just wasn't a match.
Oh yeah, no, but see, that's the thing. It seemed like a match. I'd just like to know what went
wrong.
Well,
maybe in your head,
that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
But look,
what was the weird?
Maybe she just wasn't. Maybe she just wasn't feeling. You're Probably. A nice guy or something like that. But maybe she wasn't attracted. Maybe it could be a number of things.
I would like to hear that though. That would be cool. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't feeling it. Then you'd be like, okay, great. So you don't have to worry about what actually went wrong.
Because you want the peace of mind.
Yeah, I just want to know what happened. Like, what was wrong. Yeah. And you don't get that. That's the one thing I don't like about the dating apps. You don't get that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna like fucking pursue.
But I think even when you date regular people, because
that happens too. Yeah,
that happens too.
All of a sudden, you just like you don't get the phone call. Nobody picks up.
Or people like hook up.
I don't want to badger.
People could hook up with like you could hook up with somebody and. It's all right, but then the other person thinks that you got this great bomb ass connection. It was like,
I don't mind.
It wasn't like that.
Yeah, the hookups I don't mind because the hookups, at least you go in with the understanding that this is a hookup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully. But there's people who think otherwise. They think in their heads like, oh, this is something different or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Somebody's being dishonest about what it is, and I get that. That's fine. It's just I think it's.
You
cool
feel like somebody's being dishonest, or just somebody's just not.
Well, I think at one point, when it's a hookup thing. Both people should recognize that it's just a hookup. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Those are great. But you both know it's a hookup. So if somebody's like, oh, how come you never called me back? You can be like, it was just a hookup. Mm-hmm. There was an understanding there. One person didn't follow the understanding. But when you're dating, like to meet somebody, you should at least have a courtesy to be like, hey, I felt this way. Or this didn't work out. Or we just didn't click. And then you can be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I can go back on and go for the next person.
I don't know, because I don't know. I just think with the hookup thing, it's just like I said, everybody has their own POV. To some people, to them, like we had this chemistry. And like,
right.
No.
Yeah, no, but anything is like that though. Mm-hmm. For everything, every type of relationship is like that.
Well, it's funny because more to the point. And it's funny because even when you do tell people, there's just been times that there's times that you could tell somebody, well, no, it wasn't not going that way. It didn't feel that way or whatever. But I thought it was some. You know what I mean? It was something else. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, some people are delusional. You can't help that. You can't help that. Some people are just they don't see. You know what's funny? You can go out and it can be completely fucked up. And they'll be like, oh, I thought everything was fine. That's what I'm saying, maybe. that might be me. Shit might have been terrible, and I just didn't fucking realize it. That's why I would like to be like, hello, yeah, no, shit was terrible. I'm like, okay, I gotta work on that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
what are you gonna work on? I mean, like if you
Making shit less terrible. Maybe. You know.
but that's okay. Well, I mean, unless some like that shit happened, like something out of a disaster movie or something like that you like, if
You
your
could-
date went
look,
like to the
sometimes you
left,
could-
and it's like like some fucking the After Dark movie or something like that. Like you're walking down the street. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking date was like some helter skelter type of fucking scenario, meaning that you guys came account to some events or whatever that went to the left. All right, I can get that. But if it's just you guys going out or whatever, maybe she was like, all right, he's cool, whatever. But I'm just not feeling him. But you would have preferred her telling you, look, I'm just not feeling him.
Yeah, and then I just go back on and go for the next person. I would like to know. That's all I'm saying. Like, look, if you're with somebody and it's not working out, just be like, yeah, it's not working out.
That's funny. I did a focus group. I went with my girlfriend.
You still doing those things?
I haven't done one in a while, but
Okay.
this one was when my friend Lashes was up here.
Yeah.
It was an Aziz Ansari.
Okay, that show?
He actually did like a focus group, and basically he was asking people, like, because everybody communicates through text. I think he was writing like material for a book or for his stand-up. Right? And he was just saying how, like, it's impersonal. That texting, that he feels like texting is very impersonal.
Yeah.
And how do you know when someone's no longer interested in you? They're like, well, you just don't text back. And he's like, that is so rude.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that is just very, very rude. And I was thinking, like, well, yeah. And it's funny because after, I guess you give them, like, a window period. And if you don't hear back from them, then I guess let it go.
That's
exactly
what I'm saying,
but
though.
that's very
just be like, you
wishy-washy.
text and be like, hey, what's going on? What's up? Let's talk.
And this is me, like,
Oh, I'm not
there's, like,
feeling
a
you.
very simplified interpretation of, like, but...
I agree with that. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, at least let the people know so that it's not hanging there. You always figure, what happened? I mean, I would tell somebody, look, we just didn't get along. I didn't feel you. I would say, I would happily say shit. But some people,
Yeah.
I don't like shit to be open. It fucks in my head. You know what I mean? Then I'm always worrying about what happened. I'm thinking I'm going over shit.
Did my breath stink? Did I have a booger in my nose? Or
yeah, I'm just like, what happened? All right, whatever. I know. I've already been back on, like, just swipe myself, talking here and there. I've done it.
Oh, you know what? So we have to. I think we should like revisit this conversation, do it a couple of more times and stuff, and see, how like what your take on it.
Yeah, it's probably gonna get worse, but it should be interesting.
Well, that's very positive. That's you're going with a positive attitude.
I'm just going with experience. I'm not gonna stop, but it's gonna be interesting. Oh, it'll be interesting at all. I definitely.
And what movie did you go see that night?
Shape of Water. I liked it.
It was a good movie, wasn't it?
It was really, really good.
What?
A lot of weird bathtub masturbation for a first date movie, but yeah. It was interesting.
Well, she let the girl like a little jerk before work.
Yeah, definitely. Like all the time.
I mean, she was single.
It was like a mix. It was like a Beauty and the Beast meets
Really?
Creature from the Black Lagoon type thing. It's funny, when I first heard about that movie, they had said it was like some kind of Creature from the Black Lagoon story.
I feel like people like to fucking compare it to something. People love comparisons.
I wonder if this was like maybe he, because he likes all those old horror movies. He has in his house, he has like a whole area that has like all that old movie stuff.
Maybe the idea from the monster probably came for that, but I don't see. I remember the Creature from the Black Lagoon, but I don't remember the whole damn movie. I don't.
It was a long time ago. I know it was the.
I'm not even gonna attempt to try to fucking remember. I just remember seeing the creature.
And then there was a lady, and then he fell in love with a woman, and then the guys came and they wanted to kill him.
I remember Swamp Thing with Adrian. What's his name? Adrian Barber. She fell in love with Swamp Thing. But Swamp Thing wasn't Swamp Thing a human? He was a scientist, and then he became the Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. I saw both of them, part 1 and part 2. I love those movies, man. Swamp Thing was the. You know what's funny? You watch them now, those movies are so boring. When I was a kid, I watched them like fucking 5, 6 times. I watch them all the time.
No, but I really enjoyed this movie, and then it was told from the perspective of her roommate, her next door neighbor.
I feel bad for him.
He was
lonely. So lonely. Yeah.
He was very lonely.
But he was a gay guy in the 50s, and he not only that, he was an older gay guy.
Well, you cannot be out. It's a no. I mean, there's another movie with is it Dennis Quaid? That he's married to, I forgot the redhead, Julianne Moore.
It sounds familiar. What's it doing?
That he works in an advertising agency, and one day she fucking came up to his job to bring him dinner because he was working late, and he was hooking up with some dude.
Oh no.
Whatever, and it was because I mean, at that time, there was a lot of closeted gay men. Like, I mean, even up in, what's hilarious that I was just about to say, at one of my many various jobs that I've had, I worked for somebody who was like in their late 50s, and something, he was a Catholic. He didn't want to disappoint his mom. Mm-hmm. It's so funny because when I started the job, I was like, naturally, I was like, oh, he's gay. And then when my coworker was like, oh yeah, his wife, I said, wife? I looked at her and she was just like, I'm not saying nothing. And I was like, okay. But apparently, it was hard for him. And like a few years later, he actually, came out. Right. With his partner and everything, they had like their ceremony. But that must be rough. Like that's a very, to hold that in and not be able to kind of like be comfortable in your skin and just be out there, like just be, this is me, this is who I am, this is who I'm dating, like to keep all that under wraps. That's just like I find that I've seen it and it looks so frustrating. I felt bad. Yeah. So that's when I saw his character, I was like, that's very fucking lonely. Yeah. Like, he had nobody. And then like the one guy that he thought he made
that guy was an asshole too.
You know what I mean? It was just funny because he was just doing his job, making conversation. Yeah. And he misread his body language, he just misread him completely. Yeah. You know what I mean? He almost got his ass kicked. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that he had to deal with a racial fucking situation right before this guy coming on to him, it probably would have went really, really bad because he was fucking racist and everything. Like, it was that whole you can't sit at the counter thing. Yeah. The 50s. I like that movie a lot. It was good. Mm-hmm. It was really good. And
Michael Shannon was fucking, oh my God.
Look,
he was
nobody
such a
does
jerk.
A bad guy better than Michael Shannon.
Yes, he was a fucking complete jerk. I hated him in the fucking movie.
Did you see him in The Iceman?
I don't think I saw him in The Iceman.
Right, it's that guy from Jersey, the hitman that they did at HBO.
The one is he still in jail? Richard Kuklinski. Is it Richard Kuklinski? Is that his name? Kuklinski?
Yeah, James Franco's in the movie.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were saying that a lot of his hits were exaggerated, that he was like lying about them. He was just like,
well, that's what they say. The thing is, he brought up a lot of stuff about Gotti's, a lot of stuff about Sammy the Bull Gravano, and they had to open up a lot of cases because I think they had given Sammy the Bull Gravano, when he did his confession and he gave up all that information, he didn't tell them that he killed a cop. And then when this guy was doing all his stuff, he talks about killing of a cop, and that changed everything for Sammy Gravano. It was like a weird.
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember watching it like on HBO, like his his documentary. Mm. Yeah.
But the sheer number of people that he says he killed.
So Michael Shannon played Richard Kuklinski. I have to check it out. I don't think I've seen it.
It's really good. I saw it over the weekend. The Disaster Artist. Have you ever seen The Room?
No.
They did almost, in the filming of the movie, they do almost a shot-for-shot remake of the original movie.
How old is The Room?
90s, I think it was.
Who the hell was in that?
Nobody you would know.
Really?
It's all... Okay, here's the story. Okay. This guy wanted to be an actor.
Who?
The guy, Tommy Wiseau, wanted to be an actor. He goes to Hollywood with this other kid, which he may or may not have.
Wait, The Room in 2003 or?
No, I think it's before. It's way before that. Just Tommy Wiseau.
98?
Yeah, 98. Yeah.
Google. I am Googling.
It is the most terribly made movie.
Okay.
But basically, the whole thing of it is.
It's called The Sleep Room or just The Room?
No, just The Room. This guy, Tommy Wiseau, he paid for the movie. Nobody knows where he's from. He's obviously Eastern European of some sort. Nobody knows how old he is. He says he's the same age as the guy who Dave Franco plays, who's around 19 or 20. He's obviously in his 30s.
Okay.
he pays for them to make a movie. Instead of renting the equipment, he outright buys the equipment. There's no like nobody knows where the money he has comes from. He seems to have like bottomless bank accounts.
Okay.
When they're selling him the equipment, they ask him if he wants to do it in digital, like high def or regular film. He's like both. So he films the movie in both digital and high def just because he has the money to pay for everything.
Okay.
He meets the kid in San Francisco. The guy Greg, I forget his Greg Cicero. They both go to Hollywood together. He has an apartment in San Francisco. He drives a BMW. They're like, "Where do you get all this fucking money from?" He's like, "Oh, don't ask any questions, right?" Yeah,
Okay.
he's like, "Don't ask me questions." They go to San Diego. In San Diego, he just happens to have an apartment in San Diego. He goes to open the door. He has like a key ring full of rings, like all these fucking keys. They move to Hollywood. He has, again, an apartment in Hollywood. He just has an apartment. And when it comes to make the movie, he pays like almost $60 million to make a fucking shitty ass movie that gets played in one theater that he paid for. He pays for advertising to run the movie. And it's like the worst movie ever made, but people love it because it's like a weird cult classic.
I was about to say it probably became.
Yeah, you have to watch it. It's fucking, it's amazing. The shit that happens in this movie is just fucking, the acting is so bad.
Where is he from?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where he's
It
from.
says Tommy Wiseau is an American actor and filmmaker. He produced and directed The Room. And
He says he's from New Orleans.
2003, which has been described by many critics as one of the worst movies ever made and has gained cult film status. He also directed the 2004 documentary Homeless in America and the 2015 sitcom The Neighbors. It says a 2013 nonfiction book, The Disaster Artist, My Life Inside the Room, the greatest bad movie ever made,
Yeah.
by Greg
Cicero.
Cicero, as well as its 2017 film adaptation.
Yeah, you have to, yeah. You need to watch it. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing.
Is this on Netflix?
No. It's still in the movies, I think. It's James
No,
Franco.
not the James Franco one. The
No,
original.
the only
one.
way to get the original one, I think, is to buy it on Amazon.
Oh,
I think you can only buy it on Amazon. You can find other ways of getting it. But I think the only way to see the original, just watch you don't need to watch the original.
How many minutes is this? 99 minutes?
You don't need to see the original to watch The Disaster Artist. Watch The Disaster Artist.
Just watch The Disaster Artist?
Because they filmed the movie, and all the weird shit in the movie, they do shot for shot in The Disaster Artist. So you see exactly all the weird shit.
Where is this guy now? Where is Tommy Wiseau?
I don't know. Probably still in California. He's making another movie. I don't know. It's odd. It's really fucking weird.
It's funny because he looks a little like Gabriel Byrne in this picture.
Well, when he's doing his, when he's making the movie, when he's trying to be an actor, everybody tells him, you want to be the hero. You're not the hero. You could be like a vampire or Frankenstein or something, but you're not the hero. Like, you don't look like a hero. You look like a scary Dracula. And he
I was
kind
just
of
about
does.
to say, he looks very, like, creepy.
It's very strange. And in the movie, it's weird because it's implied that he may have a weird sexual attraction to Greg Cicero.
Okay.
You gotta watch the movie. It's hilarious, but it's fucking weird.
And James Franco's brother's in this.
Dave Franco plays Cicero, and James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau really well. He fucking looks like him and everything.
Really?
And Seth Rogen is in it as the director. Like, this guy just hired a director and a director of photography. They hired like a whole group just to make the movie, and they actually made this movie, but the movie makes no sense.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes to different people.
All right, because the copy of The Disaster Artist that I saw was like a cam copy. It wasn't like it was a dirty copy. It wasn't a clean copy. So I guess I'll wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, I tried to watch Justice League and it was not a clean
Justice
copy.
League was good. I saw it in the movies. I think Justice League, you should wait to see a good, like, watch the actual thing of it, because there's a couple of scenes afterwards that actually set up other stuff. I don't know if they're gonna make it or not,
for like
because
a part 2 of it or something.
yeah, it didn't do well. Justice League did not do well in the movies, and I don't
Why?
think
Was there too much going on?
No. Here's the thing: when it comes to comic book movies and sci-fi movies, when they have a big fan following, for some reason the critics hated it. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, critics hated it. People who saw it, I don't know. people that saw the movie loved it. Like if you look at the ratings that people give it, they're good. If you look
Okay.
at the ratings that critics gave it, it's terrible.
It was terrible. Okay.
And it's exactly the opposite for Star Wars. The critics thought it was fantastic. The people that went to see it hated it.
I gotta ask my friend down at the yoga studio what he thought of it, because remember you hated it, my girlfriend hated it, so I have to ask him because he said he was going to go see it. All fans, he was very
okay.
excited to go see it. So
terrible.
I'm
It's just
curious to see what he thought.
They
of
just
it.
shit on. There are a lot of things that are put into place.
I thought, not for nothing, I really thought the sea creature one was really good.
Sea creature?
The Shape of Water. I really,
Oh, yeah, it was good.
really enjoyed it.
It
Even the
was a good
music, the soundtrack to it, the music to it, I really enjoyed.
It was done really well. It reminded me of what's his name? Remember the City of Lost Children? That guy, his movies.
Who was that?
He did the City of Lost Children. He did Delicatessen, which is a fucking fantastic movie. It reminded me of those movies. It had a very French feel to it.
I think it's because something. That director, he's the one that did The Cook, the Thief, The Wife and Her Lover.
The one who made this movie?
Not
Because the one who made this movie is the guy who does Hellboy. He did Hellboy and he did
Guillermo del Toro.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which was great. I love that movie. Yeah.
I like the costumes and like everything, the way, the look of it. It looked really nice.
Did that movie get I'm not sure if it got a wide release or not, because I don't think it did that well. It was a good movie.
Which one?
The Shape of Water.
I don't think so. It's like in limited theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was, and I mean, it got like I saw it because what movie was I seeing that I saw the trailer of it? I thought I gotta watch it, but I was at the across the street from Bloomingdale's, so one day during my shift, and I sat down and watched it, and I saw the trailer, and I was saying, oh my god, I gotta see this movie because it looks really good. But
I saw it in the Angelica, and I forgot the Angelica theater's screens are so small because my TV's bigger than some of the screens on the Angelica. They're so tiny. It's like terror. You're sitting there watching, like, God damn it! There was an animated movie that they gave a trailer to that it's Japanese, but it's about some kind of a heist.
About the dogs?
No, that one looks good. That's
that one,
Wes Anderson.
Yeah,
I wanna see that.
And of course it has like a whole bunch of actors in it.
No, this one was completely animated, like cartoon animated, and it's about some guy that robs gangsters, and then they all come after him. It looks really he robs gangsters to get money to pay for plastic surgery for his girlfriend. And they're saying like it's an animated Pulp Fiction for today. That's what their tagline says.
Animated Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, animated Pulp Fiction for today.
It's called Isle of Dogs. The one that I'm talking about with Wes Anderson is the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah. George Clooney's in it.
Did Wes Anderson do the Fox one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Because the animals and stuff look like the Mr. Fox.
That's a good movie. That's a really
fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. The one he did after was with the little kid and the girl that run away. I forget what it's called. They run away they're somewhere in Nova Scotia, I think, and they run away from their parents. Bruce Willis is in it. Edward Norton is in it. Something Kingdom. Moonrise Kingdom.
I don't think I saw that.
That's a really good one. It's really, really good. It's funny. It has a lot of funny parts in it, but it's two kids that they fall in love and they run away together.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
it's
animated
right before,
too?
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
It's right before a big storm. It looks like it's set in the 50s. And Bruce Willis is the father of the girl. Mm-hmm. And he has to go out and try to find him. It's a good movie.
I like the Grand Budapest. It's fun. I'm looking at the list of Wes Anderson movies. I really like the Grand Budapest Hotel. That was really good.
It was good. And the Darjeeling Limited. Adrian Brody I was watching Peaky Blinders. He's a mob boss in Peaky Blinders.
Get out.
There's the 4th season, which is the current season.
Uh-huh.
Something happens in the 3rd season where they kill an Italian guy. Mm-hmm. And they send the Black Hand from New York to come and kill the people who are in the family, of the Peaky Blinders family. Mm-hmm. And it's Adrian Brody who's the boss. He shows up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of people come out and know. Tom Hardy is in that movie. Tom Hardy's fantastic. He's like the
I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah, he's the lead. He's the head of the Jewish crime family. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because he comes out and he's fucking kick-ass. Mm-hmm. But he's like stereotypical Jew. Like, you have to be very careful with him because everything is like business. You know what I mean? Like, He might try to fuck you over. He might be your best friend. But he's fucking fantastic in the role. And who else? Cillian Murphy's in it. He's the head of the Peaky Blinders. They're like they're Romani gangsters, and they become big time. They just start off like little neighborhood gangsters.
I gotta check that out.
It's really good. It's on Netflix. There's only 4 seasons, like 6 episodes long. Sam Neill in the beginning. Sam Neill is like a guy that works for the government, and he goes after them. It's really good. It's funny because my brother had told me to watch it like years ago, and my brother was flaky, so I was like,
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. They have
for some reason I was thinking like Kiki.
No, they have like they wear the Little Rascal hats, like the hat that I wear, the Little Rascal hat, and it has razor blades in the bill. And what they do is they'll take them off and they're like blind people, like they'll slice you with the hat, which is something that happens in the first season. Then you never see it again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it has there's a lot of actors in there that you'll see them and you'll notice them. But yeah, it's
a lot of cameos.
Not cameos, they're big parts. Like Cillian Murphy's a big part. He's a major part. The same thing with Tom Hardy. It's a pretty major part. And I forget the name of the guy. There's a guy who plays another Romani family leader. Mm-hmm. He's pretty big. He's
Romani
an English
meaning
actor.
like Romanian?
Romani meaning like gypsy.
Ah.
Yeah.
But there's gypsies everywhere though. Gypsies like English gypsies?
No, they're
Romanian gypsies?
They're not Romanian. They're like
Italian
Irish.
gypsy? Irish gypsies?
They're like the Irish. Like in Snatch. Remember Brad Pitt? Those gypsies.
Well, Brad Pitt, he was an English gypsy.
Yeah, they're not really. They're more like Irish. It's like a mix. It's a weird fucking mix.
My understanding from like gypsies, there's gypsies in every...
Yeah, but they're
culture.
Romani. They don't.
You know what I mean? Like,
they don't really.
Well,
come
because
from
that's
anywhere.
what gypsies are. They move around from here to here, and they have like their own, like they do their own shit. But
it's funny because there's a lot of things that's considered not proper. Like you're not supposed to call them gypsies. That's like the bad words for them. And I think Romani might be now. I think nowadays they want you to call them travelers or something. They're Romani. It's Romani. There's a show on
I was watching my sister.
Hulu.
My sister made me watch this shit. I forgot. I don't know if it was like on Lifetime, but it was like My Gypsy Wedding.
Okay. Yeah. That's them.
And then, but there was like, there were the ones there were the English ones, and then there were I forgot where. I think the other ones were like Irish or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're all Romani. I think it's all. They're not from any particular place. They just fucking travel.
I have.
They travel and they make werewolves for some fucking reason.
Shut up.
I don't know, but it's a really good show. There's another show on Hulu, Shut Eye.
My Big Fat American Gypsy. Like there's American gypsies apparently. Like
yeah, and they run. They're very.
They like tulle. A lot of tulle in their dresses.
I don't know, what does that mean?
Tulle, like that fluffy stuff, like that. What tutus are made out of? Ballerina tutus?
Oh, okay, frill.
That's
Like
tulle.
the frilly shit?
It's not frilly. It's called tulle.
Really? I've never heard that before.
It's called tulle.
Hey,
it makes all the puffiness. You put it on. It makes the dresses puffy. You put them on Nathan, and it gives the dresses their big bounce.
I don't think I've ever met a Romani. No.
I don't think I've ever came across.
On Hulu, there's a show, Shut Eye, about a guy who's Romani. Well, no, he's not Romani. He works for Romani. He's a con man. And he's pretending to be a psychic, and then he actually becomes a psychic. It's a really good show.
Well, what's it called?
It's called Shut Eye. It's on Hulu.
Okay. I've seen advertisements for it. He's a con man.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he gets, I don't know,
He
somehow
becomes an actual psychic.
Okay.
Yeah. David Sayers in it. The Hispanic guy that's in everything. He was in Dexter for a while. It's a pretty good show. I think it's in the 2nd season right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think if I've come across a Romani, I don't know it. They seem to be very...
Okay, so Roma Gypsies.
Yes.
According to the Google, originated in Punjab region of northern India as a nomadic people and entered Europe between the 8th and 10th centuries. They were called gypsies because Europeans mistakenly believed they came from Egypt. This minority is made up of distinct groups called tribes or nations.
Right.
So I guess the original ones were from northern India?
Okay.
I guess. Let me see.
And then,
See, it's just like, it says DNA research is also said to have established the European gypsies' genes to northern India.
Okay.
It is believed that the various invasions in India led to the exodus of this tribe in 3 waves, which led to the spread of the tribe across Persia, Turkey, Greece, the Greeks, Europe, Spain, Russia, Finland, Egypt, and Morocco. That's basically everybody in Europe.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, with Egypt, Egypt's like in Africa, right?
They just didn't settle down anywhere. They just kept moving.
Because they kept moving.
Yeah, they kept moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have that whole caravan existence, even to this day, where they travel back and forth through caravans, pick up and leave, and they seem to.
I'm familiar with the Spain gypsies because they wear their little outfits,
right?
And then they have like the tambourines and stuff.
Same shit,
like, I mean, they do it all over. But I'm just saying, like from what I remember growing up as a kid, I remember that one and the Greek ones. Okay. I'm not familiar with the.
They're
other
probably
ones.
all the same thing. They're probably the same. I don't know. Like I said, I've never crossed. I know there's a community in New York. There is a big Romani / gypsy / whatever you want to call them, traveler thing in New York. There's a big community of them, but I don't think I've ever met any. They seem to be self-contained. They stay to themselves. Which is probably smart because people are like nobody. Yeah, making werewolves and shit. I don't know.
What is it with you making werewolves?
Because
they do tarot. Not only do they do like tarot, like in movies, they're portrayed as like
people
fortune tellers.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never saw what was it? There's a show on Netflix, a couple of scenes with Famke Janssen, where it was about gypsies, and the gypsies were werewolves. They had werewolves in there. But yeah, and the original werewolf movie it was gypsies that told him he was going to become a werewolf.
But was it gypsies from Romania?
Well, people probably just assumed it was from Romania because they were Romani, and everybody thought maybe Romani was Romania. I don't know.
Who are the gypsy? In France, they were referred to as gitanas. But in their French, I'm just reading it in Spanish. Yeah. In Spain, they're called gitanos. Yeah. And in German, there's even German gypsies. I can't pronounce that.
I think they're all the same people. They're just different people referring to them.
Yep. Because they get around.
Yep. Well, isn't that
where
the road? Yeah,
Romanies,
that's where the word Rome probably comes from. Romani, most likely. That's probably the root of the word.
Making lichens along the way.
Werewolves.
They're not. Lichens are not werewolves anymore.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Werewolves and lichens. That's the new word. That's
the new version.
Yeah,
that's a werewolf 2.0.
Could be anything. They could be like wear cats or wear bears and shit. They just make shit up. No, I know. Yeah, it's terrible. Let's end this because we're rambling on shit.
I know.
We're talking about bullshit, man. All right. Let's sign off. If anybody's watching at this point,
I know. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah. All right.